Legends, how's everybody doing? Let's analyze the situation for the price of Bitcoin, because we did get a nice little pump throughout the last few hours. Let's analyze here the situation, and we do have some news kicking in just right now. Legends, how is everybody doing? Make sure to destroy that like button on your way in. Let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me. Smash it up, legends. We got some news kicking in right now, which is non-farm payrolls. We also have this news is tomorrow, not today. This news is tomorrow. We do have non-farm payrolls, unemployment rate, and ISM services tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. This is not Wednesday, it is Thursday. We do have that news kicking in tomorrow, which will bring some volatility. But right now, the price of Bitcoin does look like it wants to head up to higher levels. We did get that bounce to the point of control here very, very nicely of this entire range. We had a naked point of control here from this consolidation. And also, we did have the ABC flat possibility to get that rally. Now, this rally does give us some new information. We do have some new possibilities here on the price of Bitcoin, which increases the probability in hitting the highs here at $109,000. Now, why have the probabilities changed here for the price of Bitcoin to get that rally and claim that liquidity that we do have, guys? There is a lot of liquidity sitting at the $109,000 range. We can see it here on the liquidity heat map. As you can see here, lots of liquidity sitting in this area, which is hundreds of millions of dollars. So with this pump that we've had, why are we increasing in probabilities right now? I'll explain it throughout the stream. The pi cycle top indicator is something that I want to talk about later on, but let's just zoom in here on the slightly lower time frames. What a beautiful bounce here that we had at the point of control. There was a lot of confluence here, and I think that this retracement will look very interesting, guys. Okay, so this is something that we are going to be paying attention to see if this retracement is going to be pretty nice and corrective, and we are looking for a bounce here. We are looking for a higher low to claim $109,000 potentially throughout the rest of the day, guys. Okay, so let's go right away and say hello to the beautiful community. First of all, hey guys, Simply3Jack, how are you doing, my man? Who is long on Bitcoin? Who is short? I had to close my short positions, realizing the sign of strength, realizing this bounce, and realizing that this movement to the downside for me is not too convincing. Could this be a lower high and we break down? It is definitely a possibility. However, with this pump, with this bounce, holding a strong level of support, such as this point of control, is telling me that there is higher probability at this moment that the price does manage to get that liquidity, create a little bit of a short squeeze to get above $109,000. Now, this is going to be a crucial pivot right over here above $109,000. There's two scenarios. Of course, there's the bullish one, which we just break out and continue to higher levels, or there could be the scenario that actually gets a swing failure pattern. Now, we want to be a little bit cautious right now. This is something that we are going to be paying attention here in this range, okay? Let's see if we do get a nice, steady, corrective structure with some bullish CVD divergence that we are forming already, guys, because the bullish CVD divergence is already on the movement. Now, there's a lot of longs entering on Bybit. Bybit suddenly has gone crazy here with over 9 million long positions just in the last 30 minutes. And of course, they can get squeezed out, okay? So there's lots of longs entering the market right now on Bybit. We can see it here on the CVD. This in yellow is Bybit, and it's actually creating some bearish CVD divergence only on the Bybit exchange. So we got those lower lows, okay, lower highs, sorry, and higher highs on the CVD, which can create that choppiness here. But overall, throughout the rest of exchanges, they are selling big time. We can see in the blue, it is Bybit US dollar tether. And also here in the white, we can see that is the rest of exchanges that is currently forming some lower lows. So we do have some lower lows on the CVD, higher lows on price action, which is making this, quite bullish, okay, with this rally. So there's shorts entering the market here on most of the exchanges, creating that liquidity pocket that we do have above $109,000. So everything points out that we are going north, okay, and going south is the less probable scenario. This could be the local low, and we could be claiming $109,000 potentially today, guys, okay? So everything looks good looking at the chart. This movement to the upside does look more impulsive. This right now does look better for that ABC flat bouncing at the point of control. We've got this major rally. I have to say, there's still a chance here for the bears to form a lower high. You can see how we are hitting that value area high of the entire range. There is that chance. This is why if we do get a little bit of a choppiness here, it will be looking very good as a bullish flag, okay? Bullish flag if you wish. We're looking for a three-wave structure potentially to claim $109,000 as we do have that liquidity up there, as we can see, right? There's hundreds of millions of dollars of short liquidations just above the highs that were created here on the 30th of January of June, sorry, not January. And so that is something that we are looking at right now. The overall question is, will we get follow through, right? That is my main question, because yes, we do have a naked point of control from this consolidation right over here that we formed on the 10th, 11th of June, right? We do have that nice naked point of control. It's literally here looking at the fixed volume profile. We've got a nice little volume node right over there, and that is slightly above where we have the highs created here, one last week, okay, on Monday, sorry, and this one on the 16th of June, right? So it's just a great liquidity grab. Now, the naked point of control has to be, looked at very carefully, or even this lower high right over here for that potential swing failure pattern. We do have some bullish case scenarios, of course, some that we have been mentioning the last few days, and that is that the low is in here. This has been it. The three-wave corrective structure, keeping it simple. ABC for the average Joe. It's a bit more complex than that. It is more of a WXY, okay? We do have it here on the chart, okay? A finished WXY. But for the average Joe, we're just going to say a three-wave corrective structure, and we have moved up impulsively, right? So this is looking pretty good, at least to take out these highs, as we can confirm that that liquidity is sitting right there, guys. Look at this. When we do take a look here at the weekly chart, the 2-week chart, right, where there's lots of liquidity sitting above, okay, $109,000, hundred millions of dollars, right? So it does look like that we can get all the way up there. So most importantly, we'll be zooming in on the lower time frame to see if we are going to be forming some kind of a corrective structure here, legends. Okay, let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me, if everything's good, guys. Maybe the volume is a little bit low, but overall it does look pretty damn good. We got a really nice rally here, very straight. Okay, now it seems like that we are correcting ever so slightly, and everything is in favor for the moment, bouncing at that point of control for the bulls to maintain this zone, okay, as support, right? Most commonly looking at the 50% to the 7-8, right? This is most commonly the area where we'd want to retrace. Now, the 236 Fibonacci is the one that's holding ever so slightly. I prefer a little bit of a steeper corrective move, and we can analyze the situation. We're going to analyze, see where we do have the VWAP, because the session VWAP is without a doubt the local scalping support level, which is sitting around about the 382 Fibonacci. 382 Fibonacci, a little bit shallow, okay, for a pullback, but it does seem pretty good. I would prefer 50% to the golden pocket as a pullback, to be honest, if we wanted to have that long position. Okay, so we're going to remain a little bit patient. I am in no shorts currently. I had to close at a slight loss. Okay, I did let the community know I had to take some more profits to cover the loss from the long positions that I do have, at least on this exchange, so we can continue the good track record and, you know, looking to add potentially to the position to maximize the profits, because hitting $109,000 is looking very, very likely at this moment. Let's quickly say hello, and we'll talk about here the range, the different possibilities that we do still have here. We're looking at this to be a correction. Okay, we're not scared for the price to move lower. It does look like there's higher probability in claiming all-time highs at some point in the very near future, guys. Make sure to smash up that like button. I can see Devil is live. We didn't coordinate here to go live on YouTube, so he is live right now also. Let's say hello to the beautiful community here in the comment section, and we'll go through a bit more Bitcoin analysis. There is some very good news that I want to talk about also. We can take a look at the stock market, DXY, Bitcoin dominance, and your favorite altcoin later on throughout the stream. Let's see here what's going on. Like the live stream, it's free and feels good, says Two Big Paws. Thank you very much, my man. It's over for the bear, says Axel. It does look like it. I had to do emergency get out from shorts, okay? This scenario is looking less probable at the moment, which is this one, okay? Still a chance, as long as we do maintain below the highs of Monday, there is still a chance here, legends, okay? There is still a chance that we could roll over, okay? There is still a chance, but I am not liking it too much with the new information that we do have. Let me know right away if you can hear me. Yeah, camera is a little bit laggy, but overall it seems the volume is good. Let me know. Good morning, boss. How are you doing? Much love to you. Also, trendline retest at the 0.618. Trendline resistance. Trendline retest. Yeah, of the breakout of this local downtrend. I like it. Okay, trend lines are good. If we can add them as confluence, I guess you're talking about this trend line right over here, which would be the retest, which is round about the golden pocket. Okay, in no rush here, because this is still a shallow pullback, but everything looks quite good to form a higher low. Okay, we need to maintain risk eventually with all the trading, with our trading strategies, right? But this zone looks very attractive for the price to form a higher low. We are forming some bullish CVD divergence. This means that there are shorts entering the market here in the last couple of hours. Okay, so it looks very good. Lots of shorts entering the market throughout Bybit, US dollar tether, also on other exchanges. So it does look like that we could be forming some interesting, very strong bullish CVD divergence to give power for a higher low in this zone. Okay, so right now we are getting that resistance at the value area high of this entire range, and it does look promising for a higher low. Okay, so let's talk about some scenarios that could happen. Let's go quickly through the comment section. Make sure to destroy that like button. Camera is fine. Audio is fine. Thank you very much to 𝗞𝗆 for confirmation. Let me know down below. Okay, we're going to create this poll right away to see, are you feeling bullish? How are you feeling on Bitcoin? For the coming days. Let me know right away, guys. Are you feeling bullish or are you feeling bearish? Let me know down below in the comment section, legends, okay? If you are feeling bullish, bearish, what is your take here on the market? And I'll continue with the comment section here and just analyzing here a little bit with you guys all of the different scenarios that could happen here for the price of Bitcoin. But for the moment, taking out 109K in the next coming hours, possibly between today and tomorrow, depending if this corrective move is going to be a little bit boring. If we start dropping very aggressively, we want to be aware, okay? We want to be a little bit sitting on our hands, okay? Because the bearish case scenario is without a doubt still possible, okay? This has just increased the leg up to the upside, the probabilities for the bulls to get that claim of liquidity at above $109,000. Now, the overall question is going to be, will it create a swing failure pattern, or will we blast off, get to 110 or 111K, right? Really getting close to all-time high. That is the main question. There is a lot of resistance above 109K with that naked point of control from this consolidation, which can create that swing failure pattern, right? We need to be ready with those levels to analyze if it is just going to be a liquidity grab, right? Because there is a lot of liquidity up there. So let's continue here through the comment section. Let me know if you're feeling bullish, if you're feeling bearish right away in the comment section. We've got a lot of bulls here, which is obviously a little bit concerning, right? We do not want to follow the herd, right? If many people are bullish, some people are saying it's lagging, the connection issue. Any connection issue here? Let me just double check if the connection issue is okay. Yeah, it seems might be a little bit tiny laggy here on my side, but everything looks like it is coming out okay. All right, so let me just go here. V-shaped recovery, connection issue, lagging. Hello, Andy. What will happen with alts? Will they drop more in the coming days? 𝗞𝗆𝗿𝗄, let's analyze the situation here for altcoins, because the Bitcoin dominance just continues to grind to the upside, right? So we got the dominance grinding here still to the upside, and altcoins, it's a matter of time, okay? When we do take a look at the altcoin index, guys, for anybody that is holding some altcoins, all right? It depends on what altcoin you hold, okay? Because we know that there is 90% that are really, really garbage, and they probably won't get a massive recovery. I know some of the high quality top 50 altcoins, lots of them will get a significant recovery, but on the altcoin index, okay, we are sitting down here at Bitcoin season already for many weeks, okay? Over 2 months in Bitcoin season. This has to be one of the longest times, okay, that we have been sitting at Bitcoin season. You can see in the past, throughout the last 6-7 years, guys, that we haven't been trading in this zone, all right? That the charts haven't been in this zone for more than 3 months on average, okay? The longest period here was in 2019, going from June to September. So could this extend throughout the summer, July, August, okay? Very possible, okay? It is very, very possible that we could be ranging here for more weeks here on Bitcoin season, but a recovery is imminent, okay? A recovery will happen. Altcoin season and Bitcoin season, they do move in cycles, as you can see, right? They go down into Bitcoin season, up into altcoin season, and as you can see, the average is a couple of months, all right? So we have been 2 months already here in the Bitcoin season. Will it be another 4 months, right? Or 5 months? It is highly unlikely. Could it go through the summer? Absolutely, yes. But on average, we do not stick around on Bitcoin season for more than 2-3 months, okay? So could we extend another month here? Absolutely, yes. But ultimately, we are looking for a recovery on altcoins, okay, after the summer or through the end of the summer, guys, okay? So yeah, it's time to pack your, get your altcoins, all right, in the bag, because this will have a rally, okay? It will have a rally at some point in the near future, and you want to be positioned already, right? I know it's boring, it is slow, lots of bleeding, all right? It all is the timing, and this is the time. You want to buy into Bitcoin season, not altcoin season, because if you bought here throughout November and December of 2024, you are very likely down on your altcoins, okay? It's all about the timing, and the timing is now when we do take a look at, the altcoin season index, right? This is just one of the easiest tools to really consider when you are looking to buy some altcoins. So lots of people are saying that altcoins will never recover, right? Which is very, very common when we are seeing the altcoins bleeding. Bullish short term though, bearish on the long term, being in the space last 5-6 years, okay, that's almost as much as me, and still can't see real use case for crypto in general. Too easy to use derivatives to short the out of everything when leverage is high. Very, very true, but this will create also a massive bullish effect, right? Where lots of people are shorting the altcoins. There will be a moment that shorting altcoins will finish, right? Because there's going to be lots of liquidity to the upside, and there will also be, a bullish altcoin season at some point. So you're going to get short squeeze, altcoins recovering because they literally can't go to much lower levels, right? When you do take a look at many altcoins, I'm thinking of ICP at the moment, for example, which I do think, is a very, very good project. And you do zoom out on ICP, you can realize that there's only as much downside that can happen after a major rally, okay? And this movement to the upside looks very impulsive. And the fact that this movement, after bottoming out here throughout 2022 and 2023, you have a major, major rally to the upside. And remember what I say here, the market moves in either 3 waves or in 5 waves. This is only one rally to the upside. So it is extremely likely that in the coming months, there is going to be a rally to at least on ICP, take out the $20 high. That is just over a 4x from current price levels. This has extreme high probability to happen because you only have one major rally to the upside with high volume that looks very impulsive. You can see the volume here, okay? So this means that you are very likely going to take out this high at a bare minimum, regardless if it's going to be a failed breakout and you come back down in the next coming months after claiming that high, or if it rallies and continues to the upside, if it is going to be very bullish, okay, and the hype, suddenly kicks in. So this is one of the best charts. This is a high cap crypto. It has over a billion of market capitalization, and it's one of the best charts that you can realize, what is likely to happen in the near future, right? Mainly for altcoins. So ICP bottoming out here in 2022, 2023, getting that major rally into 2024, and then big multi-monthly corrective move to the downside. This movement to the downside that we formed since the highs here on ICP is extremely corrective, okay? You just need to see that 3-wave structure that we formed to the downside. This is not an impulsive move to the downside that we had on ICP, which means we are very, very likely in a corrective structure, a complex WXY, okay, corrective structure. And we are looking to claim $20 at some point in the next coming months. You can already see the exhaustion on the price action, okay? This is like relatively simple to understand, right? Where we do see the price forming that bottom formation, right? After a major dump. A lot of people might think it's a bear flag, right? But this is just like saying, this is a bear flag right over here, right? We're forming a bear flag out of this downtrend. Bear flag, you expect continuation to the downside. This is not the case. We need to zoom out and we can clearly see how this is part of a 3-wave corrective structure after this major impulse that happened entering into 2024. So this is the zone, right, where you are forming that bottom formation. This is where you need to get excited when everything looks dead. Never again altcoin season. This is the moment, guys, when everybody's talking about altcoins. You got your brother, your friends, right, and everybody that you know suddenly talking about crypto. Hey, it's doing well, right? You know, everything's going up. That is the moment eventually that you want to step away, because not everybody can make money. Only you and me, all right? The 𝗬𝗙 guys that know what is happening and know what is likely going to happen are the ones that are going to be making money, right? So, I mean, you take that with a pinch of salt, okay? This could definitely continue for several weeks in this zone, in the example of 𝗖𝗍𝗄𝗽, but the future looks very promising, right? Nobody wanted to buy over here when everything looks dead. When everything looks dead is the moment that you want to be excited, because there is a high chance that a recovery is going to happen in the coming months, guys. This is only an opportunity that comes once. When this rallies, it becomes dangerous to get in. Lots of people lose money in crypto because they don't know what the fuck they're doing, right? Excuse my language, but it is true. So this is the moment that I'm going to start getting out, legends, okay? This is the moment that, you know, it's just a matter of patience. And this is only talking about the holdings, right? Because I do hold some altcoins, 𝗖𝗍𝗄𝗽. I got a significant bag of 𝗖𝗍𝗄𝗽, all right? It must be about 2% of my crypto portfolio. And I am happy already to take some profits as soon as it gets above $20. And eventually we'll leave a moon bag just for, you know, $40, $50 if it does reach there, okay? But this is the moment to get excited. I mean, there's not much to it, right? It's a simple fact right there, looking at the altcoins, right? But this is why we day trade. We look to get into some trading opportunities to maximize profits, right? As we are ranging, all right, we try to make some money throughout the weeks and months, right? Try and capitalize, all right, on the trading that we do make. Because if you're holding a bag, it just goes lower, and you need to be very, very patient. So we do try and make those gains month after month so we can capitalize, right, with our trading. Let's go right away through the comment section and say hello to, you know, the rest of the people. Somebody saying, you know, I'm bullish short term, though. The ones pumping this no need their profits. 𝗖𝗿𝘆𝗽𝗽 here saying that he's quite bearish long term. Something interesting is we realize that Bitcoin is in a corrective structure here, and that we are going to take out all-time high. The overall question on Bitcoin taking out all-time high here, all right, is it going to manage to break through, okay? Will we manage to break through and get continuation to the upside? Because there is one bearish case scenario looking at the higher time frame. There's no doubt in my mind that this looks more impulsive than corrective. Now, we do have that three-wave corrective structure here. Now, the question is, we could be forming a large ABC corrective move. If this is the end of the correction right over here, from this corrective move that we did form here throughout Q1 of 2025, if this is an impulsive move up and this is a correction, we are labeling this as a wave 2, right? And then what we want to see is follow through in a wave 3. But it is rare for a wave 2 to only retrace to the 0.382 Fibonacci, which has not even touched it, right? We were just a few $100s in touching the 0.382. Now, what is the risk here? All right, what is the risk, right? Because you might think, right, we hit all-time high, this is it, price discovery, and this is the same feeling that we had once we hit all-time high here just a few weeks ago, right? The end of May. Hit all-time high, bullish, this is it, guys. We're going to 200K. You might, you know, be following some of those mad people out there. They're just saying that we're going to go up and up and up. There is that risk here still to be forming a ABC flat on the higher time frame, right? For the moment, on most of the streams, we are analyzing this structure. It's a bull flag. It's going to break out. it's gonna, we're gonna go to much higher levels, 120, 130, give it to, it doesn't matter. We need to understand that if this is the end of this large, multi-monthly corrective move starting since, from the end of 2024, this is our new fresh leg to the upside, right? It looks impulsive. It looks good for continuation to the upside. However, when we do analyze Elliott wave theory and we look at the different probabilities, it is strange. It is rare, right? Not strange. It is rare to see just a pullback in between the 0.0236 and the 0.382 as a wave 2, right? Because, yeah, bull market to continue, but what we want to see is an explosive wave 3 here. And for a wave 2 to retrace to the 0.236, 0.382 is uncommon. And as we do analyze the structure that has been developed throughout the last few weeks, yeah, we do have a 3-wave from the all-time highs corrective move. We got the low, we got the last lower high, and then we got the next lower low. So there is a 3-wave structure. There is potentially the end of the correction and continuation to the upside to happen. But what we need to understand, it is rare to have a shallow pullback for a wave 2. And there is enough time for this correction from all-time high to continue based on the timing of the impulse. We haven't even crossed the 1-to-1 Fibonacci time from the low to the high here. Okay, we're just about to cross it here on the 6th of July. Okay, so yeah, a correction could easily go to the 2-to-1, which is coming into late August. Okay, a corrective move to hit the 2-to-1 in timing is extremely normal, right? It's very, very normal to extend to the 2-to-1 from the timing of your impulse. So this is what we're looking at for a possibility, right? Which would only bring a greater opportunity later on in the near future. We got a 3-wave move to the downside. We could be forming a 3-wave move to the upside here. Now, what happens when you do have a 3-wave move down and a 3-wave move up inside of a corrective move? You always need to consider the possibility of an ABC flat, okay? Very, very possible. We need to take it into consideration. All of those people that are extremely bullish, that is without a doubt something that could happen to label this as your wave 2, all right? It's just one scenario that, I want to talk about here that could happen. We could definitely fail to break all-time high again. This would be the moment that people would be extremely bearish, right? This would be the moment that people would say, okay, that's it. Double top confirmed here on the price of Bitcoin, especially if you start dropping down very aggressively. Okay, but it does look like that this is one scenario that could happen on the higher time frame, only bringing us insane opportunity, okay, with this scenario to get into massive long positions. I would be interested in short positions. I'll be analyzing very carefully how we get up to all-time high with the Legends trading community, and also, in the signals channel on the Telegram, right, to see if I get into a swing short or something. But this is something that is a higher time frame, looking at the next coming weeks, how the price could develop. All right, so it's something that we need to take into consideration, right? Something that I had to say, and it has been said, just because of the timing, right? We still have a lot of time here for this to still continue, right? And we also see that if this has to be a wave 2, the 382 is a shallow pullback. We didn't even hit the 382 Fibonacci retracement from this movement. Usually, most commonly, you hit 50% golden pocket as a wave 2, even the 0.78, right? But if this is going to be an ABC flat, well, then eventually, it wouldn't go much lower, right? We would be looking at the 1.618 extension from the A wave to the B wave, which would be coming down to 90K zone, right? Just something that we want to take into consideration here on the higher time frame, guys. Higher time frame analysis on the different scenarios. Is there a chance for this to be the low, and this is a wave 2, and the price just breaks out in a wave 3 here? Absolutely. I mean, this happened throughout this uptrend. We had very, very shallow pullbacks, as wave 2s. all right, and we had continuation to the upside. So Bitcoin's very bullish. We do have insane news coming out every day regarding adoption, right? Institutions buying, one of the latest one, Michael Saylor's strategy, is set to post over 13 billion in unrealized Bitcoin gains in Q2 of 2025. $13 billion, guys, in gains from all of the Bitcoin that he has been buying throughout the last few months. He has a total of almost 600,000 Bitcoin. This is almost 3% of the entire Bitcoin supply. This man over here, 3%, guys, of the supply just owned by one company, by one guy, which is insanity, right? So there's so many multi-billion companies out there. If there is going to be FOMO in buying, and I want to have the same Bitcoin as Michael Saylor, it's not possible unless the price is at 500 or even $1 million. So you can see the catalyst here. It's just inevitable that you are going to see these companies really like FOMOing in, right? In the long term, we're not talking about today, right? This is like long term, right? Bitcoin moves in cycles. So overall, the trend in the higher time frame it looks amazing, guys, to go to $1 million, and even more than that in the next coming years. Arizona government 𝗖𝗿𝗆𝗿𝗁 has voted Bitcoin reserve bill, which we can see many different states in the US that are also looking for that reserve. Fed Chair Powell calls crypto, this was yesterday, stablecoin a positive step and says framework is well underway. Already seeing the signs here also with the Federal Reserve, and we do have design app giant Figma revealed it owns almost $70 million in Bitcoin ETFs and was approved to buy another 30 million, right? And you just can see all of those companies just slowly but consistently, right, jumping into the bandwagon, right? So we're going to be doing a little bit of short-term analysis here. Let me just go quickly through the comment section. Make sure to destroy that like button, guys. Like button right now for me is not really working. I'm just spreading information, spreading different possibilities, looking at the charts, and I would appreciate massively that you do support the channel, okay? Because like button is going very, very bad. We're under 100 likes. My goodness, this is like insanely low prices. Not prices, insanely low likes for my channel, guys. And I would insanely, massively, appreciate if we do get some support here with a like button. I'm here to answer some questions. I'm here to share, my trading setups, my P&Ls, show you the analytics throughout the last 30 days. Took a little bit of a hit here because, basically, I just let you know that I was in that short position, had to take that hit, had to take a little bit of a dip here. But overall, the last 30 days is still looking very, very good. We'll be looking to get into some new opportunities very, very soon, especially on the Telegram and on the Discord. We'll be letting the people know, my next trading setup, okay? But overall, the best trading setup was basically a couple of weeks ago when we were trading at $98,000, $99,000. That was the long position, leaving a bigger position here. Just realizing that we can get to $109,000, where I will be taking some more profits from those positions, guys. Let's go right away through the comment section and see what's going on here. Smash the like button, says Aditya. Much love to you, my brother. Thanks for jumping in. Daniel Singleton, afternoon, Daniel. How are we doing? V-shaped recovery here from Momo. Also, 𝗖𝗿𝘆𝗽𝗁 are legends. His TA are absolutely good. 𝗬𝗍𝘆 is an absolute machine, always updating on YouTube and the Discord. He's an absolute machine. I'm currently in Spain. I had to see a lot of family, a lot of friends, but overall, I'm paying attention to the charts and seeing what's going on. Short squeeze on alts will happen, but not as high as people think. 100 to 200% max, in my opinion. BTC top is around 115, 120k. Then bear. Alt season, I think so. Then bottom at 30, 40k for the price of Bitcoin, says 𝗖𝗿𝗆𝗍𝗍. Very, very possible. I'm not sure if 30, 40k. It does I am more leaning on bear market lows in between 40 and 50. I think this is the sweet spot right over here. So you're saying about 30 and 40, which, yeah, is very, very close. But yeah, this would be the zone in between 50 and 40K, in my opinion, as a bear market low. Okay, that's only my thought here. Will we go as low as $40,000 to $30,000? With the demand that there is and how the value of the dollar and rest of currencies worldwide are at the moment, I do think that, we're probably not even going to get below $40,000 on the price of Bitcoin. If that does happen, eventually it would be an opportunity of a lifetime if we were to get down there in the bear market, right? But, I'm saying sweep up these lows at 50K. For me, this would be the bottoming zone in the bear market, right? Massive macro bulls would say that, there's not going to be a bear market anymore with all of the bullish news that there is, the companies, adopting Bitcoin worldwide. There's like no bear market, right? Every correction is going to be bought back up very, very quickly. It's something that, I am concerned of that. This is why I never sell all of my Bitcoin, right? I only took 25% profits back in 2021. I've only taken 10% profits. I will be taking another 5% once we break all-time high, at least another 5% of my holdings that I have been buying for the last few years. We need to take profit. We need to, take those profits. I've been buying for years Bitcoin, and I've only sold 10% in this 90 to 100K zone. So, yeah, I'm still very, very shallow in taking profits. I know that I will regret not taking profits if we entered a massive bear market in the coming months. I'm still in cash, okay. But, I do see why I do not need to take more profits yet. And that is because the price of Bitcoin is correcting, right? It is forming a corrective structure. But as soon as we get to all-time high, profits have to be taken, right? Regardless, with our trades as well, right? With the longs that we have been taken here in this range, which I am going to be keeping open, okay? To maximize those profits. Bit more of a swing trading strategy here for me. Not getting much into scalping at the moment just because I don't need to, right? So I know a lot of people that start their trading journey, they need to start scalping and day trading. That's how I built up most of my capital. But when you have significant capital, you just take chilled positions. You realize the swing movements that could happen. You need to protect, okay? Realize when you're wrong in a trade. I had to close here at $1,000 loss, which is for me not much. It's fine. You need to take that. Realize the high chance, as explained yesterday, that there is an extreme high chance that we get to 109K, guys, at the moment. So this is realizing, when you're wrong, right? I realize even though if the price comes down like this, that would be fine. Then I would say, well, the lowest probability scenario played out, right? Which would be this one right over here. But as we do have the new information, this one right over here, right? This is a scenario that, have been taking a look at since we created the triangle. This was the main reason that I got into the long position here, realizing that a pump up to hit $106,000 was very, very likely. That's the main long position that was taken from $99,000 range, purely based on this analysis and realizing that the price has low probability in breaking down successfully. So the overall first target was hit. And as we do get this new information, I was interested in shorts in this zone based on this scenario. But as we get this new information, you realize that what you analyzed throughout the last few weeks based on this new information is losing probabilities. And I was interested in shorting. I had a short position. I had to exit here, this short position, because I realized that right now, especially with this bounce that we got from the point of control, is very, very likely going to take out the highs. So let's talk about those different scenarios that could happen right now with the price of Bitcoin, right? Based on this bounce. We mentioned this yesterday. We claimed this lower high, probabilities are going to be very, very high right now to take out $109,000, okay? So those are the next steps that we're looking at here for the price of Bitcoin. We did get a little bit of resistance from the value area high in the last few hours. You know, it just looks very good for the price to break out. And one of the main reasons is the rally, okay? Also, the three-wave ABC flat structure is looking good, right? To get that rally up to claim 109K plus. But the rally that we had throughout the last couple of weeks does look impulsive, okay? It does look impulsive. You do have a five-wave structure. There was only one bearish case scenario here that this would be bearish, right? This three-wave, this five-wave move to the upside. The only bearish case scenario was this one right over here, that we formed a running flat. So you have your zigzag here in your wave W, all right? This, we were not labeling it as a five-wave structure because there was overlap with your wave 4 and 1. You had your wave 5 that was shorter than your wave 3 if we wanted to consider an expanding diagonal, which was not possible because in an expanding diagonal, your wave 5 needs to be longer than your wave 3, and this is not the case. So there was a lot of red flags here for this to be a five-wave structure, and we're labeling it as a three-wave structure, which is literally this scenario right over here, right? Expanding diagonal in your wave C here. So with this, okay, we were, you know, the possibility of this happening was there, which is literally your wave W finished here, and your wave X is a running flat, three-wave structure to the upside, three-wave structure to the downside, and now you have this five-wave move to the upside. In a C wave of a flat, regardless being it running flat or expanding flat, you want to see a a five-wave structure inside of the C wave, right? So we had that. The possibility of this was there, okay? However, the information that we got right now with this here, getting this rally today, just increases the probability of taking out $109,000, okay? It looks better for this to be an impulse right now with this corrective structure, ABC flat possibility. So we're just leaning on the chance that we could be taking out 109K also because of the liquidity that is sitting up there, guys. There is more liquidity heading up to 109K plus than actually getting down to 104, right? 103, as you can see here with the liquidity heat map. So something that we're taking into consideration, right? So this scenario, it's still possible, right? Still possible. And, you know, if this were to be a scenario that's happening, what is going to be very interesting right now is that your Y wave, all right, very, very likely could be a flat, okay? So you got that ABC right over here, running flat to finish your wave X. And for the moment, we only have a three-wave structure here, which is this flat over here. If you're forming a Y wave in a WXY, you know, the different options that you have is either a triangle, okay, if your wave W is a zigzag, in this case it is, or a possible flat structure as well. You can have a flat in X and you can have a flat in Y as well. And as we just have a three-wave structure here, we need to label this as your possible wave A. And then what we're looking at here is your three-wave structure in your wave B. So this is why getting all the way up to $109,000, which is the lower highs that we had here from last Monday, and also on the 16th of June above 109K, it's very interesting to see how we will react because it could just be a liquidity grab. All right, we also have that naked point of control from this consolidation. It's two major levels that we need to pay attention here, guys, because it is definitely possible that we do get that movement down to claim the lows that we formed early this morning, right? Or late last night. Very, very possible. There's only two guidelines here. And the two guidelines is this pivot high for a swing failure pattern or the naked point of control. It's a high volume node that is, you know, right over here from this consolidation of the 10th and 11th of June, right? That could definitely fail the breakout. We could fail the breakout and get acceptance back beneath that naked point of control that might give us that short opportunity to potentially take out the lows from late last night at $105,000. Okay, so this is a nice little swing short position. Okay, and that is only if we do reject from that pivot high, okay, of the 16th of June, or the point of control from this consolidation. As you can see that it's sitting at 109.6k. Right, so it is an option here. There's definitely still this option that we are, we need to be very much aware of. Okay, as mentioned also throughout the stream, it would be rare, guys. It would be a little bit rare that we do blast off from here. Okay, a blast off here above all-time high to go to 125, 130 would be quite rare. Would be quite rare, just considering that this is a shallow pullback. Okay, and it would be perfect for that kind of trap situation where you do form that ABC flat here, and this would be the moment that we need to be extremely bullish, okay, to then get that rally to the end of the year, right, and finally get the explosive breakout. So this range, I mean, could continue, guys. It could continue for the next coming weeks. Other scenarios here. I mean, the most bullish one eventually is that finished corrective structure. ABC flat, we did get the bounce at the point of control, also a naked point of control, right? We got that beautiful bounce here throughout last night. Whoever got into the long position at the point of control, realizing this possibility of an ABC flat, then congratulations, you are in a very nice profit here with that bounce on this scenario. And we could be getting that corrective move, guys. It's just a matter of being patient. Okay, it's a matter of being patient. If this rallies all the way to 109k very fast, well, we just need to let it go. But preferably, as the price does move, at least in 3-wave structures or 5-wave structures, it would be nice to see that pullback. Okay, and a higher low here would be looking very interesting to finally claim that liquidity. Would you long all the way up here? Not the best scenario, right? Unless you got the support bounce. You don't want to long into the value area high of this trading range. Preferably, you want to look for a higher low on the possibility of a correction here in the next coming hours to then get that leg up. And I would be targeting at least the highs here to claim that massive amount of liquidity that we do have right above 109k, right? That would make more sense for that to happen. Okay, so yeah, probabilities lean more to the upside. However, getting into a long here is not the best deal, right? At resistance, you would want to get into a pullback, much better. Unless you longed here, the best option is to long a pullback at some point. Will we get that pullback? Well, we're going to have to see, right? It's just a matter of time. Most bullish case scenario is that the corrective structure has finished, right? For the average Joe out there, we formed a 3-wave correction over here. We moved impulsively to the upside, ABC flat right over here. And then eventually we would be labeling this as a wave 2, wave 1 right over here on the higher time frame. And we get that blast off, okay, in a wave 3, right, to continue and break out all-time high. I'm a little bit skeptical on this scenario. A little bit skeptical. It is the summer. We do have low volume. We do have important news tomorrow, which is unemployment rate. And we do have, unemployment rate, non-farm payrolls, PMI also. There is a lot of news happening tomorrow. If unemployment rate is much lower than expected, non-farm payrolls also are good. Could it trigger that major rally? I'm not sure if it will. Okay, usually the volume is lower in the summer. So, are we expecting this to be the end of a wave 2 right now in the summer where volume is very, very low? Okay, and are we going to get that explosive wave 3 to the upside to break all-time high, right? We're labeling this as a wave 3. I'm skeptical, guys, okay? I'm very, very skeptical about this situation just because of the lack of volume that we do have, right? We do know that, what we're looking at here, guys, is a wave 3, right? When you do have a wave 1, right? You have a low, you have a nice pump up, correction, wave 3, right? Wave 3s are the explosive moves that we're waiting for, right? That's a wave 3 right over here. Just to give you a few examples, right, from a low created, right? You got your first major rally here from the low, and then your wave 3 to the upside, which is very, very explosive. That is what we are trying to figure out here, right? It is possible, guys. It is definitely possible. There is a valid count for this to be the end as a corrective 3-wave structure. We got a nice rally that does look better as an impulsive move, and we got a possible ABC flat here to finish this correction that we've had in the last week. Could it be it, guys? Let me know down below. Are you feeling very bullish? Could this be the low of the correction? And could this be the low of this impulsive move after forming this corrective move? And we are waiting already for that blast off in the next coming days. Yeah, a little bit skeptical. Low volume, right? Still ranging, still inside of the value area. Right, the most important crucial zone to break out successfully here, without a doubt, is 109 to 110k zone. Right, how will the price manage to break out? It could be a fake out from value area high, right? Just like we had down here. I mean, these are mainly fake outs, right? They just, we understood that there's likely going to be a fake out from this value area range. We got back inside and, got a massive rally to the value area high where we are getting resistance in the last week. So could this just be a liquidity grab? This is the moment that you want to take another trading decision, right? I'll be more interested in speculating on that short once we come all the way up here where we have the naked point of control. We are sweeping up the highs from the last few weeks, one over here, one over here. We can confirm that there is hundreds of millions of short liquidations above 109k, which would be that sweep here, as you can see on the liquidity heat map. The overall question is, will we get follow through here, guys, right? Will the price get follow through? And will there be enough demand? Will there be enough long trades? Will there be enough buys to break out to all-time high? That is my question. Realizing that situation, this zone is to get into a short position. It is not to FOMO long into a breakout, guys, of the trend, if you wish, right? Because you got that trend line. It is a dangerous, dangerous area of rejection. A lot of resistance. You got the trend line here, lower high, lower high, lower high. This is it. It's going to be extremely bullish. It will blow your socks off. Stop with the bearishness. This is Bitcoin, all-time high on the way. Realizing the technical analysis, realizing the different confluences that we do have here, it is a liquidity grab. You have the naked point of control of this consolidation, possible liquidity grab, swing failure pattern, scenario that could come back down to the lows of yesterday. It's just a tricky area, right? The way that I can execute a short position here is either 15-minute close beneath the lows here, beneath the highs, right? Or lower highs if you wish. Aggressive swing failure pattern on the lower time frames as soon as you get acceptance back beneath. Could it be that short? I really prefer the naked point of control. Naked point of controls, in this case at 109.6k, would be the best option. This would be a little bit shallow, as we do know that there is still a lot of liquidity. You can form a little SFP here, claim that naked point of control, and this would be the zone that I would be interested. Just because that liquidity is sitting up there, right? We even got liquidity all the way up to 109.7. There's lots of short liquidations. So this first attempt would be a little bit aggressive. It can be a little bit aggressive. You can manage risk accordingly. There is a bearish case scenario as explained, right? We do have that possibility of still being in the range, in the corrective structure where we are forming a Y wave. Most commonly, it would be a flat, a triangle right now. It could form a triangle. We're just going to have to see with the information that we do get in the next coming days. But a flat is definitely possible. We've got a 3-wave move down, 3-wave move up, and then you get that aggressive drop to sweep up the lows here, which would be ultimately finishing your Y wave in this sideways complex corrective move. So the only level right now that I'm interested in the short position really would be that naked point of control that is sitting from this range of the 10th to the 11th of June, guys. Important zone that I am looking here for that possible swing failure. Well, basically a failed breakout. If we do analyze very carefully what happened yesterday, getting the fixed volume profile here out of the way, this is what happened, right? That naked point of control, we got one right over here of this consolidation. This consolidation from this order block, right, was leaning slightly lower when you do take a look at the session volume profile, right, from this consolidation. We did create that failed breakout from this naked point of control of this consolidation. So you can see how the price action reacted, right? This was late last night, so I didn't manage to react at that naked point of control. I was sleeping, but maybe some of you guys did manage to jump into that long position. But overall, you know, you can see the reaction from that naked point of control. Yesterday, we were talking about the ABC flat possibility coming into that naked point of control. And this is how you need to take it. You get beneath naked point of control, you don't follow through. You want to start thinking about a long position as you get that reaction. So the same scenario applies with this naked point of control of this consolidation. We do have the bearish case scenario, which would be a three-wave, this three-wave ABC flat, a possible three-wave move up. This is the moment you want to be paying attention, right, for that possible flat scenario. This is the zone of rejection. Maintain risk here because, yes, we do have a chance of hitting all-time high. I'm very skeptical of that happening. Low volume, it is the summer. I like the idea that it's going to be a failed attempt to hit all-time high just yet throughout the summer. Okay, and a liquidity grab makes more sense to then get the movement down. Note that a lot of people will likely be bullish here, potentially entering into long positions because they realize all-time high is going to happen. Late longers coming into the break of trend here and targeting all-time high with stop losses beneath the lows. Very, very common mistake, right, that a lot of traders do take. And I would be more interested, instead of looking at the price to get to all-time high, as we do have a bearish case scenario, to really take into consideration the possibilities of swing failure pattern from the lower highs created, right, which is sitting at 108.8, even stretching the legs to get to 109.6, 109.7, where we do have that naked point of control, where a reaction and a failed move to the upside is without a doubt very, very possible, right? So that is the golden zone to take the decision. Take it as a guideline. If you are above this level, you're not interested in taking the short position. Just as if you are beneath this naked point of control, you are not interested in taking the long because you've lost the level. And as you do have this inefficiency here of this pump, you haven't got any support. So longing beneath this support level naked point of control is definitely not worth it, right? If you get a reaction at this naked point of control, well, without a doubt, that would be the long trigger, right? In this case, yesterday night, late last night, depending on where you are, to get into that long position based on the reaction of the naked point of control. So this is your guideline. This is your guideline right over here. Sweep up the liquidity above the zone. If you break through and follow through, you're not interested until you hit a new level. In this case, it would be these lower highs at 110.7, where you do have the lower highs and a naked point of control from this consolidation. That was front run just a few weeks ago, 110.8K. That would be your next level. In between this zone, me personally, anyway, you can do whatever you want. At the end of the day, I'm just talking about, where the next trading opportunities could lie here. If we are above this naked point of control, I'm not interested in shorting here in this zone till we get to the next crucial pivot of liquidity grab, which are these lower highs, and also that naked point of control. My head's in the middle here, guys, but literally want to explain that level right over there, as you can see, right? So yeah, that's a little bit of the scenarios here. We'll be updating, of course, the Telegram Signals channel or the Discord community. Guys, remember, make sure to reach me out. We might extend the discount today. It's very likely going to be closed in the next coming hours, so there's no more discount. But make sure to join the Legends Trading community. You do have the direct link down below in the description. I might extend the discount depending on how many people, reach me out on my Telegram. It's the first link down below. And let's hop you into the Discord, where you do have the modules, you do have the daily updates, research team, Bitcoin analysis, altcoin analysis, advanced setups, everything here. Also with the modules, learning the basics from Tradingview, tutorial, to candlesticks, to market structure, to pointer controls, to daily levels, harmonic pattern, advanced Elliott wave theory. You have everything here to take your trading to the next level, and also with the daily updates from myself and the rest of the coaches, guys. Okay, so make sure to take advantage of that. You got the link down below, or reach me out on Telegram. I'll make give you the discount. The last day was yesterday. We might just do it till today, and that's it, guys. Okay, so if you want to take advantage with that summer discount, let's go through the comment section, say hello to the beautiful community, and let's analyze a few other scenarios. I mean, the best short zone is this one. I realize the sign of strength with this bounce. Bearish case scenario, the bears really need to form a lower high here if it is going to be bearish, right? In between golden pocket and 7-8. Not looking that great. I am in favor right now of the bulls to reach out 109K based on this new information, based on the rally and the bounce that we've had, that it's looking highly likely that we do attempt to hit 109K, potentially between today and tomorrow, guys. Let's go through the comment section, see what the people are saying. Much love to everybody. Thank you very much for that insane support. We got that like button running in the end, so that's absolutely awesome. Super happy to see that, guys. I hope that you're doing well. Let me know any questions in the comment section. I hope your family is good, your friends, your health is good. I hope you've done your sport, you're eating healthy, you're feeling active, you're feeling happy. And if you're not, make sure to join the stream. We'll get into conversation, and I'll try and do my best to change that. Let's go right away. Say hello, 𝗞𝗔.app. Here he is, the man himself, the legend. What's going on, 𝗞𝗔.app? Much love, my brother. Thanks for joining in here. I could see 𝗬𝗍𝘆 was here. Hi, legends. Enjoy the stream. 𝗬𝗍𝘆, my man. I'm not sure if you are around still, but I did see that we scheduled almost at the same time that live stream. I'm so sorry. We're usually pretty good. We do live streams separate, okay? Because 𝗬𝗍𝘆 is a legend. He is a coach in the Legends Trading community. But anyway, let me know, guys, how are you feeling today? It's Wednesday. Summer is here. Whereabouts are you living from? Anybody from Spain? Anybody from UK? Anybody from US? Anybody from India? Anybody? Let me know right away in the comment section. 𝗐𝗐𝘍𝗫, my man. 141 likes, 180 at the moment. Let's get to 200 likes, guys. I'm just going to get a drink of water. Let's go through the comment section. Any questions? Any altcoins? Let's analyze the situation. It is looking promising for the altcoins in the future, guys. Don't get me wrong. I know everybody's been in the bloodbath, down on altcoins, but this is the moment to get excited. The summer might be boring. It's accumulation period, guys, okay? It is accumulation zone. I did buy some more ICP in this area in the last few weeks. I'm just, would be happy to buy beneath $4 if we do get the chance. I'm not sure if we will, but if it does, then I would be excited to buy a bit more, guys. There will be a short squeeze. There will be a rally. And for ICP analysis, it's one of my biggest holdings apart from Chainlink and Ethereum. Don't hold 100 altcoins, guys. I mean, well, do whatever you want. No financial advice. But be cautious on what altcoins you buy. Have a couple of meme coins, right? Because meme coins usually do pretty good. But ICP, I do see $20 being reached in the next coming months. This looks impulsive, very corrective. We are bottoming out here. This is, for me, not a bear flag, looking for continuation to go down to zero. We never know with the altcoins, guys, okay? This is why I have a diversification, because, we never know which is going to be the next Mantra DAO. We never know what's going to be the next, Terra Luna. which eventually collapsed very aggressively, losing over 95% of their value, right? So always stay cautious. You know, at the end of the day, you know, we never know if a cryptocurrency project is going to succeed. Let's go through comment section right away. From India here, from Florida here, says Matrix Mike. Welcome everybody. Hi from Poland, from UK. Absolutely awesome. I was in UK last week. I was in London. Had a nice few days there. UK is great. I love London. London is awesome. From India here, much love to you, Summit. Thanks, Sarah K. Eric, hello Andy, hello everybody. Gold Star, thanks for the super chat. Completed masterclass course, absolutely superb, says Gold Star Crypto. Here we go. Imagine getting a super chat just to say how great the masterclass is, and he's completed it. Absolute superb, guys. I can tell you already, you do have everything. We even do a Tradingview tutorial, you know, going through market structure, candlesticks, right? All of the easy steps that you want to get in the beginning. Going to then advanced stuff, how to use Fibonacci, you know, naked point of controls, you know, fixed volume profile, looking at also the VWAP, how to use it, and then advanced Elliott wave theory, also with harmonics, which is very powerful. You know, make sure to do the masterclass, guys, which is down below in the description to take your trading to the next level, okay? Make sure to reach me out on the Telegram. I'll do the discount today as well, okay? But from tomorrow, I'm not doing it anymore, legends. I will give that opportunity for the people also getting access into the Signals channel, okay? We'll look to get you access into the Signals channel on the Telegram, which today we've had a successful, good scalp trade, guys. We've had a nice, successful scalp trade in the Signals channel, okay? In the Telegram, a long position on SPX and already hitting those TPs in the Signals channel, okay, on the Telegram, okay? So make sure to hook me up in the link down below, okay, which is a direct message to me, and we will get you into the Signals channel, okay? Let's go right away through the comment section and continue saying hello. We've got a nice little successful trade today. Let's see if that like button can get to above 200 likes, and we'll go through the comment section, do a little bit of a Q&A. Not much here for Bitcoin. It is looking more bullish than bearish. We need to realize that, guys, with the new information. We've got a nice little rally. Point of control here did bounce very, very nicely. ABC right over here looks like the highest probability. This is very, very common. Claim the liquidity beneath the low. A little bit of choppiness. Bounce at the naked point of control. Failed breakout. And what we're looking at right now is very, very likely a claim of $109,000 range, okay? Question is right now, will we get that failed breakout and come down, or will we continue to the upside to have an attempt to get to all-time high, okay? Next major important level, if we do get above that naked point of control, is 110.8, where there is another naked point of control with some lower highs, okay? Let's see how this zone is. Let's see how this zone does react. Claim the liquidity, naked point of control. Will we get that? Will we get that failed attempt breakout and continue the range for the summer, guys? Let me know in the comment section as we get those likes rolling. Price is looking pretty damn good with this new information, still maintaining the long positions. Yeah, I'm going to take some profits from this one depending on the reaction at 109k, okay? But it's time. I would be very pissed off if I don't get some profits here to pay some of my holidays and journey here in Spain, because we need to pay some of that out of this account if possible. I mean, profits have been taken from this long position, but took a little bit of a hit today, guys, I have to say. Totally transparent here with the trading situation. You know, we cannot hide anything, especially in the Telegram Signals channel. You know, we need to be transparent here. There's nothing to hide. Let's go right away through the comment section. Pakistan in the house. M. Umar, much love to you. South Africa. Mike's South Africa, insane. Look, it's an international world. It's an international here comment section. Look at this. BTC is pumping. Yes, it is. Any thoughts on 𝗬𝗍𝘃? We can take a look at some altcoins now here for the community, guys. See what's going on. Let's get that like button to above 200. As I get this drink of water, we'll continue through the comment section. We can take a look at some altcoins. Big news tomorrow, guys. Okay, we'll continue with the live stream now for the next 30 minutes at least, and we can take a look at some altcoins, okay? Make sure to get those comments rolling, smashing up that like button, guys. Much appreciated. Let's get those likes to above 200 while I get this drink of water, and we'll continue here with the comment section. I think what the people want is a giveaway. I think we need to do some giveaways. I need to give some of the profits that I have made in trading, okay? I need to give some of these profits from the last month, which has been absolutely insane. It's been a pretty good month for me. And I need to give $500 or maybe $1,000. We'll do that on tomorrow's stream once we get, we do have news tomorrow. Let's see if we can get to at least 500 likes. We'll do a $500 giveaway and a $1,000 giveaway if we get to 1,000 likes, which is going to be a bit of a mission impossible. We've seen, just seeing the views are very, very low at the moment. But yeah, we need to go do a giveaway, guys. I'm good. I want my community to be happy, and I want to share, okay, some of the gains with you guys. Let's go through comment section, see what's going on. Bitcoin is pumping. It does look like it wants to get that squeeze out here from the value area high of this trading range and claim that liquidity. I'm out. I'm no longer part of this liquidity. Yeah, I got out, guys, okay? Tiny little hit, okay? It's all about managing risk, okay? Most important in trading is don't be too bearish and stick to one movement. I need to adapt to the market. I was interested in shorts. I was in a short from this range. I did realize the movement down to continue, and with this new information, I realized that the probability is to take out $109,000. So what do? I analyze the new information, I let the community know, and I realize that for me, it's no longer interesting to be in the short position and just take a bit more profits from the long and still maintain some of the long position to start taking profits at $109,000, which is the next high probability movement up. So it's time to take some profits at this zone, just realizing that there is a lot of resistance. There is a bearish case scenario, and I would be interested in taking that short depending on how we react at the zone. I've got my alert set, and I will be letting know the Discord or the signals channel on the Telegram of my next movement. If you want to join, make sure to reach me out here with the first link as mentioned. Take a look at gold, says Summit. Good morning, Andy from Chicago, says Jafar from Chicago. Let's go, USA in the house. Much love to you, Jafar. Please, yeah, video Hindi main. Oh my goodness, what's this? Is the 4-year cycle on BTC still in play? Well, it is technically. It is technically still in play. And why is that the reason? Because as we can see, the 4-year cycle tops. Okay, it usually tops at the end of the year. We can see December of 2013 right over here. This is December of 2013. The top here in 2017 was December also. The top in 2021 was November. So right now we are in the summer after the 4-year cycle, right? And usually it tops at the end of the year, right? So we still have 5 months at least, right, for that possible top. Will it be September? Will it be October, November, right into the end of the year? We're going to have to really analyze how we move up to all-time high in the next coming weeks to see if it's going to be an explosive breakout, or is it going to be very toppy? We're going to analyze the waves, the extensions, and the different indicators to see if we are topping out. Pi cycle indicator is one of the most accurate top signals. I remember watching this in front of my eyes, signaling the top for Bitcoin, almost $60,000, okay, as we were reaching that out, okay, which indicated the top, right, between $60,000 and $65,000. This was April, right, of 2021, March, April, when we were trading at that range. And I remember seeing this. This was also one of the main reasons we had a Wyckoff distribution pattern 𝗖𝗍𝗂𝗍 indicator, and this is where I sold 25% of all of my crypto portfolio except for Chainlink. Chainlink is the one that I've been holding up and down, but took massive profits, guys, as I entered crypto right over here in 2018, buying for 2 years all sorts, right? Bitcoin, VeChain, Ethereum, and obviously with this rally, I did capitalize a lot, guys. Even selling 25%, it was a lot of money with this massive accumulation of Bitcoin and crypto in general. So did I regret not selling more? A little bit, I have to say. I can't lie. Should have sold much more because I did hold a lot into the bear market. It was still a lot in profit, but time to buy some more, guys. Time to trade, make some gains, and buy more Bitcoin and some other altcoins. Still happy eventually with the gains, but yeah, about selling a bit more. You can never sell all of your Bitcoin, as they say. Make sure to have a large portfolio of Bitcoin for the future, guys, right? Everything, there's so many bullish events that many are Bitcoin pumping here, as we can see, trying to break out here to get to the 109K zone. There's so many bullish events that are for Bitcoin. Mass adoption is really taking over, guys. So I've only sold 10% of my accumulation from the previous cycle for the moment, guys. Only 10%. So I'm saving up for all-time high. All-time high looks imminent, and after all-time high, we'll sell another 5%. It's DCAing out, guys. The overall strategy as an investment is to buy. I sold here. It was a direct sell. But in this cycle, I'm having a different strategy. Buy. I stopped buying once we crossed $30,000. Wasn't accumulating anymore here. And you can buy Bitcoin for the future. It doesn't matter. But regarding my strategy for the cycles, I've only sold 10% in between 90K and 100K. And I want to sell another 5% once we break all-time high. Okay? Soon as we go to higher levels, I might sell another 5%. I'll be letting you know. This is an investment strategy, guys. It's just my strategy is slightly different. Not the accumulation. The accumulation is the same. Buy as we go down, DCA. I sold 25% here back in April of 2021 before the crash based on 𝗖𝗍𝗂𝗍 indicator and a Wyckoff distribution event where there was a high volume on the sells as we were hitting the top here. And for the moment, I'm having a DCA strategy out, okay? DCA strategy out. I'll never sell all of my Bitcoin. Never sell all of the Bitcoin. Just realizing the upside potential. And we cannot time the bear market lows. We can't time the bull market highs. But the overall trend is pretty clear, right? The trend is extremely clear. So overall, some people here, same thing. I remember people saying that we were going down to $1,500. It never came. People here saying that we were going to 10K. It never came. So if we do get down to 60, 50K in the bear market, that's already going to be a massive level for me to start DCAing aggressively. Okay? It's just, we cannot time it. Are we going to go to 30K or 20K? It's we'll just buy some more. The best strategy as an investment for Bitcoin is DCA once you have a corrective move, of 20, 30%. Then you start DCAing aggressively. It never fails, guys. It never fails in the long term. Never fails. So, that's a little bit, 𝗖𝗍𝗂𝗍 indicator. This is one of the most accurate indicators. I remember looking at this in the previous cycle. Maybe this time is different. Maybe it's not going to happen. Maybe it's not going to, indicate the top. It did, and it was the topping range in between 60 and 70K. It was the top. Regardless if we got another high in November, it didn't go much higher. So, extremely accurate here for the previous cycles. Look at the moving averages. The moving averages need to get close together. They need to get close together to signal that top. They are extremely separated. You can see the moving averages getting close here. Also getting close right over here. That's when it triggered the top. Getting close here. The moving averages are very, very separated. The technical analysis does tell us that, that the top is not in yet. based on the corrective structure that we are forming here. Very corrective momentum. All-time high is expected to be hit in the next coming weeks. Okay, so everything points out that we are still good for higher levels. So yeah, that's something about the 𝗞𝗖𝗂𝗿 indicator that we need to talk about. Let's go through the comment section. We are going to be talking about some altcoins right now. Make sure to drop off your favorite altcoin. I'll be choosing a couple of altcoins to just have an overview analysis. I do think that $109,000 will be hit. That's a next take profit zone that I'm going to take from my long positions. I might add ever so slightly to this position to maximize profit. We'll be taking profits from this long position at 109K. That's going to happen, guys. Remember that on weeks, you do have $100, guys. There's been a few signups from yesterday. This is $100 for free. You only need to link your phone number and you will be getting $100 to trade with. Of course, you do have 25% fee reduction. You have higher bonuses for the ones that are going to be trading and depositing more capital. Make sure to take advantage. It is the link down below in the description, guys, here. Weeks, as you can see, free $100 for the first 100 users. Also, you get 25 fee reduction on your trades, guys. Take advantage of this campaign that is going on right now for weeks. It is the fourth link down below, okay? Another way for you to get a great bonus and trade on an awesome exchange and to support the channel eventually. Let's go right away. AVAX or Link. Chain link has to be. BTC is pumping. It is pumping into that valley area high. Struggling a little bit. It would be nice, guys, if we do correct down here in the next coming hours. That is going to be a very, very interesting setup that I will be looking at, okay? If we suddenly fall down, then eventually, not interested in catching the falling knife. But if we do range here, get a bit of a choppy corrective move, bit of a wedgie structure, it will be very interesting to get that pump to claim that liquidity, okay? My next trading setup, possible long, possible shorting range, okay? Depending on how the price reacts at those zones, I will get into the trade or not, guys. I will be letting the Discord know in the advanced setup section, okay? Anybody that's in the Discord advanced setup section, or in the Telegram signals channel, which we already had a successful long position here on SPX, okay? Very, very good long position on SPX, playing out very, very nicely, taking those profits already. So let's take a look at Chainlink. Let's take a look at one of those altcoins that are people please. Wow, Polkadot, Chainlink. Okay, we got a few here. Let's do Chainlink. Crazy, you have. Much love to you. Aditya, 𝗞𝗖𝗂𝗿𝗏 indicator also is great. Very true. The 𝗞𝗖𝗂𝗿𝗏 indicator, which you can find here in indicators, you just put 𝗞𝗖𝗂𝗏 or 𝗞𝗖𝗂𝗏𝗏, and you will get this indicator on the chart, guys. The bottom was very accurate as well here, round about the $16,000 range. Very, very accurate to call the bottom. Very, very good indeed for buying or selling Bitcoin, guys, on the long term as an investment. So let's take a look at Chainlink. Let's go. ICP, I'm very bullish, guys. ICP to $20 in the coming months is my take here. You take that with a grain of salt. Chainlink is looking awesome. It's looking absolutely great. The main reason Chainlink is looking good, I was very skeptical once we created this high and started dropping down. I was saying, what if this is an ABC movement here, right? And that is it. We formed a three-wave structure to the upside, and a bear market is happening for Chainlink, and this is never going to recover, right? Or it's not going to recover for many, many months. Let me tell you that the movement down that Chainlink created throughout the previous months, okay, since the end of 2024, it's been over 6 months right now with this movement down. It looks incredibly corrective, okay? It looks very, very nice for this to be a corrective move. There's no major bullish momentum, no 5-wave move to the downside, lots of overlap between the waves, and it does look like that all of this is a corrective structure. And if this is a corrective structure, there is high probability that this is either going to be two scenarios that are going to happen. One scenario is not too bullish. One of them is taking out the highs that were created here on the 24th of December, okay? The 2024 in December of 2024, okay? It looks very, very good for the price of Chainlink to recover in the next coming months to take out those highs at $30, which I will start to take profits on Chainlink, okay? Most of my accumulation was here in Chainlink, still in profits by a 2x, 2.5x on average. Still okay, guys. I know a lot of people are down on altcoins. I'm down on a few altcoins, but it's a very low percentage of my portfolio. So Bitcoin and Ethereum and Chainlink, right, are balancing very much those unrealized losses, guys. They're like peanuts compared to where I have been buying and accumulating most of my altcoins, which I've been very vocal about in the last few years. This was insane. Every single stream from back in 2022, I was saying, I'm buying more Chainlink here. I'm buying more Chainlink. I'm buying more Chainlink. I'm buying more Chainlink. I stopped buying Chainlink since we got this rally. So it's all about buying the right moment, right? Buying at the right moment. If you follow some other people that are just going to be saying 100x, massive 2025 bull run, I haven't been buying Chainlink anymore. So it's all about knowing about buying at the right moment for the long term, right? So people that have been buying at the highs, right, or the rallies, well, you know, they are in significant unrealized losses. I'm not perfect, guys. I do have some altcoins that are in unrealized losses, but it is what it is. This is why, you know, some low cap coins, you don't want to be a little bit cautious, not bet too much on those altcoins, right? So Chainlink, two scenarios that I'm looking at here. The most bullish one is you are forming a double 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, and you are going to be starting your third wave in the next coming weeks, potentially next few months, right? Entering after the summer, right? That is the most bullish one, you know, that could reach all-time high without a doubt. 1-2, 1-2, you get your third wave, consolidation, fifth wave, right? And you do manage to get to all-time highs. That is one possible scenario that could happen for Chainlink, bringing us massive amount of gains. One that is not too bullish would be an expanding diagonal, okay? Expanding diagonals are rare, so we're giving the higher probability to the extreme bullish case scenario, which is this one right over here. Or we have the expanding diagonal, right, which could reach out the highs, right, with a nice wave to the upside, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you enter the bear market, all right, and then you rally eventually into 2027, 2028 after bottoming out at some stage. Regardless of what scenario is going to happen, there's high probability that at some point in the next coming months, you're going to reach that $30 target, okay? So I do not know if we're going to top out here or if we are going to extend. However, there's two scenarios that are highly likely, and that is taking out these highs right over here. So eventually I want to take some profits as soon as that $30 range is hit, okay? It's about time, as I'm holding thousands of Chainlink, guys, for many, many years now. Let's go right away through the comment section, continue here. Let's go see some other Polkadot. Polkadot has been extremely bad performing this cycle. It's actually gone below the bear market lows, which is very, 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 I wouldn't say bad. Eventually this coming down to the bottom is usually where you would find the best opportunities, right? Bear market lows on Polkadot. Really, really outperform, you know, not performing well in this cycle. That is for sure. All the rallies are coming back down to the bear market lows. This could be a massive accumulation zone, okay? And it's just, you know, coming down to the lows here, ranging. You need to understand that smart money wants to get out on the pumps, okay? When there's a bit of FOMO and there's a bit of hopium of 2025 is going to be great, you know, this is already making a 2.5x right from the lows. If somebody is putting 10 million here and has $25 million in profit, that's a lot of money. Very likely smart money and big money. They're happy with a 2-3x, guys. They're very happy with a 2-3x. So the question that you need to make yourself right now, who is going to be selling down at the bear market lows from the last 3 years almost, right? There'd only be more interest in buying than selling down here. Extreme low levels on Polkadot from the last, since 2020, right? Almost, it's at the launch prices almost. So you need to take this, with a grain of salt, but there'll be more interest in buying here. Who wants to sell down here? Who wants to sell? Whoever's going to sell is probably going to sell at a loss if they've been buying in the last few years. People want to sell. Smart money wants to sell at the pumps, okay? And when you've been in a massive range for the last few years and you're at rock bottom levels, you need to think to yourself, who wants to sell here, right? Who wants to sell at the lows? This is the zone that you should be interested in the buys. And as soon as you get some pumps, you are in a very, very good buying zone, right? Whenever that happens. But ultimately, we would be looking for a recovery, a short squeeze for Polkadot. So, yeah, what can we say? Not much to analyze. Ethereum or Link, we've taken a look at Chainlink already. Somebody's saying Solana. Solana, what's going on with Solana? I haven't checked out Solana for a long time, but we can take a look at Solana right away on the higher time frames. What's going on here with Solana? How is it looking? What I do like about Solana is that we have claimed Solana looks pretty bullish. If you ask me, it does look pretty bullish. The movement that we've had to the upside, the recovery from 2023, I mean, this one has given one of the best returns in this bull run eventually starting from 2023, right? 2 years of a major rally, almost doing over a 10x, right? No, actually doing a 20x from the lows here. Very, very strong rally on Solana, and I would label this as your wave 4. It's the longest corrective move since you started the pump. It's the shallowest one, okay? And this is very common in a corrective move to sweep up the lows of the 4th wave. So you've swept up that liquidity. I mean, this would have been the best swing long position, and it looks relatively good. Let me take a look at Solana here on Coinbase. Yeah, this is what we're looking at here. Potential ABC flat. We had something on the chart here. Sweep up the lows. 5 wave up to the upside. Potential ABC flat, which, it's a little bit too quick as a correction, I have to say. In timing, when you take a look at the timing, it's very, very shallow in time. So it could range a little bit longer before the rally continues, getting into a complex WXY. I would have to do a little bit of analysis, proper analysis on Elliott wave theory instead of doing it right now, because it might, it's just going to take a long time for me to analyze every single wave and see the different possibilities. But the value area low is, you've swept the lows of the higher lows that formed here in 2024. Perfect. Liquidity grab, that's what you want to see. You want to see a healthy reset. And right now we do have this rally and a possible correction. Value area low of this trading zone is holding very, very nicely, as we can see. So we've got that nice instant rally. We can zoom in on the 4-hourly time frame. It does look like this is more impulsive than corrective. Okay, we've got this possible corrective structure here on Solana, maintaining that point of control very, very nicely. If you do lose this point of control, well, eventually this low would be expected. Point of control here as resistance, now bouncing at support. It is at support. Okay, so it is trying to hold on this point of control of this entire range where we did have a bounce right over here. Lose the structure, resistance, got a little pullback, broke out, and now we're trying to hold as support here. This point of control of the range of the last few months. So, yeah, Solana looking a bit interesting. I don't like this high volume spike. It is a bit three-wave structure. When we finish a high volume spike here, I'm very concerned about this because a three-wave structure in an ABC or a WXY does like to finish with high amount of volume. If you see high amount of volume, you want to see follow through for a potential wave 3, okay? And in this case, we didn't get follow through. We did pull back significantly here, claiming the lows of the pump. Very, very skeptical here on Solana, and the correction could continue. We could maybe break this point of control and get back down to the value area low. Very, very skeptical on this scenario, okay, on Solana here, continuing to the upside. Yeah, best chance for a long position here on Solana, to be honest, would be getting back down to sweep up this low, which is sitting at $127. It could be that it does rally, but obviously you want to get into the best trades, and a sweep of the low here would be the best option for Solana. Value area low, sweep up the higher low here would be definitely the best option in my opinion. Hello, please take a look at True. Let's take a look at the comment section. Please take a look at True US dollar. Nobody will like me in here but silver chart. Silver is awesome. I do have solid. I do have some silver and some gold. Okay, physical one. But yeah, silver's looking pretty good. I think silver. But it has been rallied. Yeah, it has been rallying pretty nicely. I was going to say silver's undervalued. Silver does look like it wants to reach its previous all-time high from 2011. The chart looks very, very bullish. Gold eventually has been going through the roof. And I think silver is just underperforming. It is lagging behind. But overall, it's looking very, very good for silver to get to all-time high. Let's take a look at this one here. True US dollar. For somebody that gave a super chat, True US dollar. Let's go right away and analyze True here. Wow, this one's gone down the hole, guys. It's gone down the hole. Currently at the bear market lows. I have no idea what this is. Is it 𝗬𝚽? True. It must be 𝗬𝚽, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody gave a super chat here for True US dollar. We're going to analyze this one very, very shortly to see what's going on with True US dollar. I'm not sure if it's 𝗬𝚽. Please confirm. It must be this one, as the ticker symbol is True. I have no idea what this is. We can take a look at the website, see what's going on with this project. 35 million, so it is a low cap cryptocurrency. Very, very low cap crypto. Very, very low cap crypto. So let's take a look at this one on the chart. I mean, we're literally at bottom levels, right? We were literally at the lows of the bear market. So yeah, we want to be a little bit, I'm not too sure about this, if it is a good project, okay? We really need to analyze the team, okay? What are they doing? What are they solving? What is it as a cryptocurrency? In an altcoin season, most of the things do pump, guys. Most of the things do pump. So this is literally at the bottom of the bear market. What does that mean? That means that, yeah, eventually this could do extremely well. It could bottom out here. Same question that you need to make yourself with Polkadot, right? It's at the bottom levels. This is usually the most interesting area where you would want to buy, okay? Selling pressure here is going to be very, very low. Very, very low selling pressure when you get to the bottom. Most of the times, not always, this could collapse and go to zero. You never know with the crypto projects, but this is usually the most interesting area to accumulate, right? When you're at rock bottom levels, because the selling pressure will be very, very low, right? Once you reach the lows of the bear market in this case, selling pressure is going to be very, very low, very, very low. So eventually, this is an interesting area of accumulation. But eventually you want to take a look at what the project does, make the most of your, okay, so it looks like it might be a lending platform, or I'm not sure. Make the most of your US dollar tether. Is making credit more accessible, transparent. Okay, so it's giving credit, bringing debt infrastructure on chain. Interesting. We do know that the economy works on debt, so bringing debt into crypto, I mean, not sure if it's a good idea, but overall, you might have some important VCs that are backing up the company. You really have to do your research. If it does look promising and they are delivering with their project, then eventually, what is the use case of the cryptocurrency as well, most importantly, then eventually you are at very, very interesting accumulating levels on True, okay? Rock bottom levels, bear market lows. You know, you don't want to buy the pumps, guys. You want to buy when everything looks like very bad, right? Best chart, for example, is ADA, right? ADA chart, when you do take a look here, nobody wants to buy at the bear market lows. Bear market lows of 2018 was reached with the C19 crash for Cardano, coming down here, buying here at the bear market lows after the crash is the best option before a rally could happen in the next coming months, guys, right? So yeah, take that with a grain of salt. We never know that, you know, this project could be an absolute failed project, but where we are at the moment, it is available on Coinbase. So, you know, they did list it on Coinbase, and Coinbase does some pretty interesting research before, you know, putting a cryptocurrency into their platform. So make sure to do the research overall on True. Fartcoin, please, one of the best performing, you know, meme coins. Fartcoin. What is Fartcoin ticker symbol? We can take a look at Fartcoin here for the community. Fartcoin is Fartcoin. Let's take a look at Fartcoin right away. See what's going on with this one, legends. Yeah, well, Fartcoin is doing pretty good. It is doing quite okay. Let's see if we can find, we got Coinbase here. It only listed Fartcoin. We'll take a look at this. It does look pretty promising, if you ask me. This does look very, very corrective, very wedgy. We did hit here almost the 0.88 Fibonacci from the highs to the lows. Ever so slightly missed it, but it does look very corrective, very, very wedgy kind of price action here after this major recovery that we had throughout 2025. It does look like Fartcoin will be one of those meme coins that will perform pretty good in that altcoin season. All right, we ain't going to do too much of a lower time frame analysis here on Fartcoin, but yeah, you know, the best scenario eventually for Fartcoin would be sweeping up the lows again, right? You can see how sweeping up the lows gives you the best option. You got these lows right over here. Sweep up the lows, got a major rally. Sweep up these lows again, nice little bounce. So a sweep of those lows again, just to continue the wedgie structure, would be the best option to re-enter either a long position or buy some Fartcoin, right? In this case. Let's go right away through the comment section and continue. Thank you very much, CCM. You're very welcome, my man. Yeah, I think we just covered a few altcoins, just a little bit of general analysis, taking a look at Polkadot, at Chainlink. Not much more. Let's take a look at Bitcoin, see what Bitcoin's doing. We could be forming that corrective structure. Remember that Bitcoin does have a lot of liquidity sitting above 109K. All right, looks very, very interesting. Eventually, you do not want to long into resistance, guys. We are at resistance. We are at the value area high. A corrective structure here would be very, very interesting to analyze, to then get that leg up here to claim 109K. And that is where we will take our next informed decision, either a long here and a short here. So if you want more updates on that, make sure to join the Discord or the Telegram. Send me a message right away on the first link down below. Make sure to take advantage with the pinned comment, guys. You do have weeks, all right? You do have bluffing as well. Great exchanges. You can claim massive bonuses, up to 20% cash back on bluffing. And you also have $100 for free for the first 100 users. There is still a few dozen left to claim that $100. If you link your phone number, guys, you'll be getting $100 for free to trade with, okay? So make sure to sign up on weeks. You have it on the pinned comment here, as you can see on the top right. So you can sign up right away. You just need an email and a password to sign up. Thank you very much, legends. Next major trading scenarios for Bitcoin have been set. I will be informing the Discord and the Telegram throughout the next coming hours to see what will be the next movement. Thank you very much for joining. Make sure to smash up that like button on your way out, guys. Thank you very much for coming, and I will see you in the next one. Much love to everybody.